Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Mandy, and we're going to do another layered wood sign, front door sign that says hello summer, and it has a cute little watermelon slice. And I totally failed to film any of the process in XCS, but we're going to put it together. So this is the backer, and I sprayed it white. I did I scored the design in the background to make the process of putting it together a little simpler. This is before I bought the 3M double-sided tape, which is awesome. And I'm gonna do some parts of this with my airbrush, which obviously is not necessarily the simplest way to do this. Spray painting is probably the simplest, or just using a chalk paint and rolling it on. But I'm, for one, I'm trying to maximize the use of my resources, and I'm using fluid acrylics, or purely pigments from Colourarte in some Vivid Art fluid, which definitely is efficient in the airbrush. But the, you kind of have to play around with it and figure out what's going to work, what's going to be the right color, etc. So this is our watermelon slice. You can see that I have scored the seeds to make them easier to put on. This color that I'm using in the airbrush is called Alizarin Rose, and it's a fluid acrylic from Colourarte. It's beautiful pink. It's kind of a perfect watermelon color, to be honest. And I have the black seeds cut out of MDF and spray painted black already. And so I'm using this color for the pink. I do end up using this color and a green color for the summer letters, but then the top part I also try to do in this color, and it just never really fully takes. I don't know why it didn't work out. It was like the spray painted surface, it just wasn't taking the paint evenly. I think the paint is just too transparent. So the watermelon slice and some of the added layers that go on the top are in the 1/8 inch MDF, and some of them were spray painted white and some of them were not. Like the letters were, but not the watermelon slice. So what I'm doing here is I'm alternating the letters in summer to be every other one is this this color, and then the opposite ones will be in a bright green. And I think I used a fluorescent green fluid acrylic for the green, and I also use that same color for the watermelon rind. So what you don't see on camera is all of the times I messed with the top to fix the color. So I don't even know if I'm going to put you through where I paint the top where that hello is with the airbrush, because I end up changing it, and I actually end up using a titanium white, sorry, my voice cracked, titanium white with a couple of drops of Titan Pale Peach, pink, one of those, and so it just gives it a very, very light, almost white pink color. And then the backer for the summer, the little banner in the middle, I spray painted a light pink. So you can see like what I was going for here. I was gonna use this bright watermelon color at the top, and then use either white or black for the hello, but the coverage is just so sparse. So I'm gonna speed this part up because this is taking a long time for the top, and I end up changing it anyway. Okay, so this is fluorescent green from Colourarte, Vivid Intense. I don't have the fluorescent set of purely pigments, or I would have used that. It would have been even more efficient. But this works great. And I'm using the Vivid Art fluid in my airbrush, which is also great. It works, it's so thin that it works great in the airbrush. So I am just darkening it just a little bit. For some reason, when you put the Vivid Art fluid in, it seems to mute the color a little bit. I don't know if it dries more clear, or if it has a little titanium in it. I don't really know. I haven't asked Leslie about that, but this is our watermelon rind, so we're going to go ahead and paint it. I don't have it like pre-painted white or anything, so I'm hoping that wood just takes the color really well. And so yeah, so we're going to airbrush this on, and I'm going to speed this up a little bit for you so you're not completely bored. So I will share that I am no airbrush pro. I barely even know how to use it. I've had it a really long time. I got it more for the air than the actual use of the airbrush function. So I'm learning. So as I mentioned before, I'm doing every other letter of summer in the green. So what I've learned with airbrush is with really transparent colors, sometimes you need to put a light coat on, let it dry, come back and kind of build on it. So in that regard, this is not faster than spray painting or, rolling on your paint. So just be aware of that. But if you were doing this while you're doing something else, this is obviously you're maximizing the use of your paint. So I've got a couple of drops of paint. So if I was doing this, or if I had a bunch of orders for the same sign, this would be pretty efficient. So my husband and I were watching a movie or something. So I was doing this while I was doing something else. So it's no big deal to spend a little extra time. Plus for me, this is, if I'm going to do these signs, what's going to be the most economical way to use the color I already have that's high in color saturation, and these fluid acrylics and the purely pigments and stuff from Colourarte really are. I don't know that I need to go buy a ton of chalk paint just to do this kind of thing. So, I do have some chalk paint, obviously, and I like to add to different colors and stuff, but I like to use stuff I already have, and I have a lot of paint. So this is a cool way for me to make use of my airbrush and to play around with mixing different colors. This is also a really easy way to mix a custom color. So here I am trying to fix this top part again, which ends up being a bust. So I'm gonna skip this part and we'll move on to the next part. Okay, so here I'm just putting another coat on my letters. Again, this color is super transparent. So if I had to do this again, instead of spray painting these, I think I would have put a coat of chalk paint on it. Just because chalk paint has that kind of tooth to it, almost like a texture that I think would make it easier to absorb the paint. So that's probably what I would do differently if I did it again. So I'm just adding another layer to this real quick. I'll probably do the same for the green, let it dry. And what I didn't film, obviously, was me spray painting the little banner in the middle. I used kind of a pale pink from Rustoleum, just a color I already had. And otherwise, I would have painted it with that same pale peach color. So we'll come back to put it together. Okay, so let's put the rest of this together. I thought that this paper stencil would help me like perfectly align my letters because I didn't use the 3M tape for this part, but it didn't. So, don't waste your time. So I am going to use the Starbond CA glue. I'm actually using the medium. So with this, basically you spray this activator on one side and glue on the other. So I learned from my first sign that it is sometimes better to spray, or it's better to put the glue on the base, but that's only if you know exactly where it's going to go. So you can see that this backfires on me pretty quickly because I start to put the glue down, then I'm like, how am I going to get the letters down without it sticking to the paper? Because if it sticks to the paper and you've got that activator stuff on, it cures immediately. So like your margin for error is not great. And I already got the glue on there. So I was like, oh, well, the letters are kind of designed to be kind of like, helter-skelter kind of deal. So you can see I'm still trying to make it work. It wasn't going to work. So the backer here, I've got painted that pale pink color. And I'm just going to throw caution to the wind. It takes me a couple minutes to realize that my stencil idea is bogus. But then it actually turns out super cute. And then I didn't show you guys me gluing the hello on because I did that in between meetings the other day. But I ended up painting the hello black to kind of match the watermelon seeds. So I will show you the sign all put together. So I'm going to speed this part up just so you're not bored. Obviously, I'm still trying to stick with my idea. What a waste of time. So, as you might remember, we did the alternating green and pink letters. When I showed the sign to my husband, he said, that actually really makes it pop the way you did those letters, which, when when I bought this file on Etsy, that was kind of how they had it advertised. So, and I will try to link where I got it from in the description box, because obviously that person worked hard on the file, and if you want to purchase it, you should purchase it from them. But I do have this listed in our Etsy shop. The sign is for sale. Once I put everything together, I spray it with a clear satin finish just to help it, weather the outside elements. And then I can also make these to order. So I haven't put a made it to order listing up, but the completed one is available. But yeah, hang with me until the end and I'll show you what it looks like all put together. I did order some black macrame twine because I actually tied the knots in the front this time, in front of those little holes, so that the black would match the letters for hello and for the seeds. I just thought that was a nice touch. So yeah, it's a fun little project. Summer's half over, so I didn't quite get ahead of it, but I'll show you the close-up next. All right, so this is the final result. Thanks again for watching with me, and check it out in our Etsy shop if interested. Bye.